Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and the subscriber mode has been enabled for 5 minutes. Meaning, if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to have been a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. And I see here we do have a couple of comments. Good evening, USA. Yeah, uh, we're gonna we're going to address that. Um, Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, in all fairness, um, her father, Kamala Harris's father, is Jamaican, and her mother is Indian. So, if anything, she's mixed race and what's called blazing. So, um, first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been there from the beginning or recently joined. I really appreciate all the love and all the warmth that you continue to give me. Also, want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and all those who watch from the clouds, including the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. I also have another channel which is called Latina Diaspora, which I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos, um, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. In the description, there's a link to that channel. I'm going to ask you if you have not checked it, please check it out. And please consider subscribing to the channel. So, as you can see, tonight we're going to be talking about who is Kamala Harris. Okay. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of thoughts regarding who she is and who she's not. So, we're going to try to address the facts and then you will determine how to interpret it as you see fit. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. We're going to start with, first of all, the reason for the somber intro because tonight is the anniversary that my older brother, Abba Negron, passed away. Um, it is unfortunate, but he passed away due to renal failure at the age of 56. Okay, so what I do is whenever a member of my family has passed away, that I mention something as an to honor his memory. And this is a picture of my brother Albert. Okay, just to let everybody know, he had a troubled youth before he had his enlightenment, of which he became a born again Christian, and he was very active in Victory Outreach, which is a non-denominational church. So if you saw my social media, there was homages to my brother, and of course he will forever live in our hearts. Okay, and as long as I have found memories of him, he will continue in my heart. And that's what I say, like my dear brother Albert, rest in peace. So Now, one thing that I need to discuss, okay, and I discussed this before regarding by sharing regarding copyright infringement. Okay, unfortunately, there is an individual um, that continues to upload images and content without my permission, both on YouTube and Twitter. Okay, which led me to make a post today on my community tab, which is the following: anyone, and I repeat, anyone that uploads my images or my content without my consent, and particularly for the purposes of trying to harass me or ridicule me or paint a false narrative about me, will be immediately reported. Okay. So now the latest narrative that this individual is trying to paint is that I have problems with my dental hygiene and I hate mixed people. I have a question. If that is the case, why are there mixed people that appear both in my chat and on my panel? Why I have mixed people who are my mods? Okay, if I supposedly hate mixed people, I don't hate anybody. Okay, there's certain individuals I have issues with, and I deal with them on an individual basis. Unfortunately, this individual is on a mission to paint narratives. I mean, if it's not that I have an STD, it's also that I'm part of the LGBTQ community, or it's that I'm broke, or that I'm lonely and I have no one who loves me and care about me. Question: if that was the case, why was my social media full of people wishing words of encouragement regarding my recovery? Why are there people who stated that they pray for me? If supposedly I have nobody, it is unfortunate that you have people who are damaged, who love to spread false narratives, not only about me, but other people. Okay, and then claim that they're better than me. First of all, if you're anyone that's so called better than me, you don't have to spend any time and energy saying that. Okay, your words and your actions should reflect it. Okay, so whenever you have an individual that's going out of his way to paint a false narrative about me, and 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 so insecure and so incompetent that they have to like use my content, okay, speaks volumes. Okay, so I'm going to continue to be the best version of myself because that's the best form of revenge. Okay, and all this is an attempt for me to actually engage with this individual. I just refuse. Okay, as you can see here, the circus is alive and unwell. Good evening, Don Armando. How you doing tonight? That was a very excellent interview that you conducted earlier tonight. I don't know if I have your permission to share it on your community tab so that my subscribers um, can check it out on the playback. I really would appreciate it if I have your permission to share on that community tab. You're quite welcome. And look, and actually, and I felt that the interview was needed because unfortunately, the same individual that's painting false narratives about me is also painting false narratives regarding Georgia. Okay. Unfortunately, you have individuals that need deliverance, that need therapy, that they got nothing better to do but to harass and upload content without permission. So it is what it is, and believe me, anyone who uploads my content without my permission uh, will be reported. Now, if you are uh, content creators that actually support my content, my platform. Good evening, Irby. How you doing tonight? Tonight the topic is who is Kamala Harris. So basically, I'm just going to discuss who she is and try to separate truth from fiction. Okay. But getting back to what I was talking about, if you are a content creator that actively support my content, okay, then you have all the permission in the world to share my content. Okay, and of course, I will reciprocate as well. Um, However, if anyone, and I repeat, anyone that is going to use my content or use my images to harass or to cast false aspersions, you're going to be reported. Okay, so and plus, I have friends who let me know regarding when anyone uploads my content without my consent, and particularly to harass and bully. It is unfortunate, but it is something that do occur on these YouTube streets. So I will exercise my full right to report anyone that uploads any of my images or my content without my permission. So, and just as an update regarding my health, tomorrow I begin outpatient therapy, okay, which is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm slowly in, and I will say in time I'll be able to walk without the aid of any devices. So I really appreciate all the warmth and all the love and all the support all of you continue to give me. And before I forget, let me just state that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to join the panel and opine regarding tonight's topic, they can do so. Okay. Again, let me state for the record, if I have never seen you or heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage so to make sure that you do not try to flash anything inappropriate, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. Okay. So with that being said, now we're going to get into the main topic. So again, the topic for tonight is who is Kamala Harris? And the reason why I'm discussing this individual is because of the fact that most likely she's going to be the Democratic candidate for president in the United States. And of course, because many people have many opinions regarding Kamala Harris. Okay, some people speak very highly of her, other people do not. Okay, so my role is basically to discuss who she is. Okay, to separate fact from fiction. Okay. First of all, one thing I didn't know about Kamala Harris until I started doing my research is actually she is a baby boomer. Okay, she was born on October the 1964, what makes her a baby boomer. Okay. Now I know there's been a lot of talk about her. Should she become a president? She'll be the first black lady to be president of the United States. First of all, let's make this perfectly clear. She is not fully black. Her father is Jamaican, her mother is Indian. So if anything, she'll be the first Blasian female to be president. Okay, so let's make that perfectly clear. Right now, she's currently the vice president of the United States. Now, prior to her um, becoming vice president, um, she was the district attorney for San Francisco from 2010 to 2017. And from 2017 to 2021, she was the junior senator from California. Okay, so basically she was born, okay, in Oakland, California. Okay. Now her father is Donald Harris, and her mother is, please forgive me if I mispronounce the name, Shamala Gopalan Harris. Okay. Her mother was a breast cancer scientist who immigrated to the United States from Madras in 1960. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, the family lived in Berkeley, California, where her parents attended graduate school. Okay. As a child, she often visited her family living in, and again, if I mispronounce this name, please forgive me, Besant Nagar in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. She grew up attending both a Baptist church and a Hindu temple. She has a younger sister, Maya Harris. They also both sang in the Baptist choir. Okay. Now, let me tell you. Okay. Now, after finishing high school, she graduated with a degree in political science and economics from Howard University in Washington, D.C. At Howard, she was elected to the Liberal Arts Student Council as a freshman class representative, was member of the debate team, and joined the African American sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha. In 1989, she returned to California where she earned a Juris Doctor degree from Hastings College of Law, a law school affiliated with the University of California. Okay, so that's her. Yes, that's true. Okay. Now talk about her career. Okay. Now from 1990 to 1998, she served as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California. Okay. Now, in 2004, okay, let me just get my facts again. Now, from 2004 to 2011, she served in the San Francisco District Attorney Office. Okay. Which she became later the district attorney. Now, from 2011 to 2017, she was the state district attorney for California. Okay, where she was elected and reelected twice. Now, from 2017 to 2021, she was uh, the junior senator for California. Okay. Now, in 2020, she was one of the many candidates that ran for president of the United States. Unfortunately, she left her campaign. She abandoned her campaign early because she didn't get enough support. Now, she was selected by Joe Biden to be his running mate. So Kamala Harris made history to be the first female vice president, the first female vice president of color, and the first Blasian vice president. Okay. Now in 2024, she was on Joe Biden's ticket for re-election. Of course, we all know that recently Joe Biden abandoned his campaign for re-election and did endorse Kamala Harris to be president of the United States. Now, next month, from August 19th to August the 22nd, is the Democratic National Convention, of which it is believed that most likely she's going to be chosen to be the chief standard bearer. Okay, and you know, she will run as president against Donald Trump. Okay. Now let me just share some personal things regarding. Okay. Now she is married. Her husband is Douglas Emhoff, who was a partner in charge of the Venerable LLP in its Los Angeles office, and they were married in 2014. Now, in 2018, it is reported that her income was $1.9 million. She also has two adult stepchildren. She has received an honorary degrees from Howard University in 2012. In 2015, she received honorary degree from the University of Southern California and received an honorary degree from Howard University in 2017. Okay. Now, in all fairness, she has received a lot of heat due to the fact that, as an attorney general, she did seek to, for make black people have long prison sentences. Okay. And of course, people have a lot of conceptions and misconceptions regarding Kamala Harris. One of the things is she appears to be the type of person that panders too much. But in all fairness, folks, name me a politician that doesn't pander. Okay. And of course, her being the first female, um, the female candidate. Of course, there's a lot of there's a lot of personal attacks against her. Okay, and one of the things that that claim that they claim is that she slept her way um, to achieve her success. First of all, I don't know if it's true or that's not true. Okay. But again, I have said this before and I'm going to say it again that when you take a look at the men that serve in president in the United States, many of them were flawed morally. Okay. You have men that cheated on their spouses. You had men, okay, particularly in the beginning of this country's history, you had men that owned slaves, okay? Washington owned slaves. Jefferson owned slaves. And in fact, there was allegations that Jefferson had a sexual relationship with one of his slaves. Madison had slaves. Andrew Jackson had slaves. So, and of course, there have been men that have been racist. For example, Woodrow Wilson actually showed the movie Birth of the Nation in the White House. And if anyone is not familiar with the movie, it is a movie that glorifies the Ku Klux Klan and romanticizes it. Okay, so there have been racist men who have been presidents, which is why, and I keep saying this, and it has to go, and it has to be said again and again and again. That is why the position is called commander in chief, not pastor in chief. Okay. Now, one of the things that was not highlighted until Kennedy's assassination was the fact that John Kennedy had numerous affairs with women. One of them being Marilyn Monroe, and also regarding women that was involved with organized crime. So, so there's so what I'm trying to say is we haven't had too many people who are choir boys occupy the White House. That okay, that is a reality. Okay, so let's see. Now, of course, as a Democrat, she holds many beliefs that some people endorse and some people are against. Among them other, she is in favor of women granting full reproductive rights, meaning that if women wish to do so, that they can terminate their pregnancy. Okay. Now, Now, of course, I disagree because I am pro-life. I do believe that life begins at conception. However, I do agree that in the cases of rape, incest, where the mother's life is in danger, um, that if she needs to terminate the pregnancy, she may do so. Okay. Also, another thing that she is in favor is equal rights for the LGBTQ community, which includes, among other things, same-sex marriages. Okay, and this is how I look at it. Who you wish to date and who you wish to love, that's up to you. Okay, I'm not going to police who you date and who you love and whatever. Okay, that's perfectly fine. You can hold whatever beliefs that you wish. What gets to be an issue is that when you're trying to impose your beliefs on me. Okay, if if you believe in same-sex marriages, that's perfectly fine. I respect your beliefs. I may disagree, but I'm going to respect it nevertheless, and I'm not going to ridicule anyone that's a part of the LGBTQ community because, regardless how I may view, uh, each individual has the right to live as they see fit and love as they see fit. Okay. Now there's been you know a lot of concern regarding the fact that she had, as the district attorney, sought that black people be given long sentences. Okay. Um, my concern is this: justice has to be met equity. Okay, that if you do the crime, you got to do the time, and it should be equal, regardless of your your phenotype, regardless, whether it's your sexual orientation or your economic standing or your circumstances. Okay, that is my belief. Also, there's been a lot of controversy, um, because when questioned, okay, on numerous occasions, uh, Kamala Harris has stated that she would not seek legislation um, in favor of the African American community only. And of course, there's a lot of controversy behind that because there's been legislation granted regarding Asian people, regarding a hate crime bill for the Asian community. Uh, there's also been concern regarding legislation for the LGBTQ plus community, and now, okay, and so their concern is you can have legislation geared for those communities, but you cannot have anything geared towards the African American community. Now, this is what, okay, this is another thing that she's been called to tax for is the statement that this country is not a racist country and that racism don't exist. I would disagree. Okay, first of all, racism has existed in this country before the country was created. Okay, we must bear in mind that in 1619, that's when they started bringing Africans uh, to what's known as the United States to be in chattel slavery. Okay, and slavery existed in this country for about 250 years. In fact, in the U.S. Constitution, an African American person was considered three-fifths of a human being. Okay, so there had been slavery for 250 years. On top of that, you had segregation in this country for about 100 years. Okay. And yes, there was a time when you had segregated schools. Yes, segregated restroom facilities. Yes, segregated water fountains. Okay. There were certain communities and certain areas of cities where African American people were discouraged to go there for fear of reprisal, for fear of attack. And of course, there was a promise made to these people after the Civil War, which was they would get 40 acres and a mule, which they never got. And of course, there's the yeah, it's sad, but it's true, Irving. It's true, Irving. And the fact of the matter is that people can actually say with a straight face that this country is not racist. I'm sorry. I don't see how anyone can make that statement, particularly if you take a look at the history of the United States, not just towards the African American community, but also regarding the so-called indigenous people. I mean, this country has broken virtually every treaty that is created with with the so-called native peoples. Virtually, okay. Back in the 1830s, there was the Trails of Tears, where thousands of I don't want to say Indians, I'm going to say indigenous people were forced to leave their country, forced to leave their homes, and travel thousands of miles to other places in this country, okay? And many of them died, okay? And my question is this: if this is not a racist country, then how come you have an organization like the KKK that exists? How come you have neo-Nazi groups in this country, okay, espousing hate if racism did not exist? Racism does exist, okay? Which brings up another issue where it gets to be it's considered controversial, and that's when it got in reparations, okay? Because it is believed that Kamala Harris is against granting reparations to Black people. Now, in all fairness, at one time I was against them getting reparations, but in the course of time, I thought about it and I arrived at the conclusion that they should get reparations. The problem is we're not gonna see it in our day, okay? Because there have been times in our history where the environment was there to create legislation where reparations could be granted, particularly around 2009, where you had a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, you have a Democratic president, you have Barack Obama, who was the first person of color to be elected president. Now, in all fairness, Barack Obama was not completely black. He had one parent that was black and another parent that was white. Okay. Unfortunately, there was nothing done then regarding reparations. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't think we're going to see it in our lifetime. First of all, is what it's going to take. It's going to take a whole group of politicians in the House and in the Senate that's going to actually organize to get that done. And then there's the question, and then there's the question. Okay, what's considered? I'm trying to, you know, oh, the amount awarded in damages. Okay, so first of all, the issue is you have to identify who other victims are, but let's assume for the sake of argument, we're able to do that. Then we have to make a determination what will be the amount of the financial damages incurred. Then there's the question whether or not um, is to be paid in lump sum payments, or is going to be paid through annual payments for a number of years. And then the last obstacle has to do with with the litigation involved, because you're going to have people that were not included. They're going to sue because they perceive they should have been included. Or you're going to have people that are going to sue because they perceive that the amount of the damages was inaccurate. And then you have got people that did not feel they shouldn't be, being forced to pay, what have you. So what's going to happen is you're going to have attorneys that's going to make a huge windfall of money, and the money that that was set aside for for the victims, or more like the descendant of the victims, is going to go into legal fees. Okay, which is why I don't think we're gonna see reparations in our day. Do I think they should give granted? Yes. And also there's another issue. If we grant the African American community reparations for what their ancestors went through, then there's the question about, well, maybe the LGBTQ community should be granted reparations regarding what they've been through. Maybe Latinos should be granted reparations for all the discrimination, all the things that we should. And also, look, we have also granted reparations in one form or another to the indigenous people and the Japanese, who was forced to relocate to um, 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 camps for fear that they will betray the United States and join our enemies. And unfortunately, when you're in a time of war, reasoning goes out the window. Okay, so these are the things. Now let me just state what the issues Kamala Harris is going to have to face, and she's already facing it. First of all, she's going to have to explain why she does not perceive this country to be racist. So she's going to have to explain that. She also going to have to explain the fact that why, as the district attorney, she sought to give black people long prison sentences. She's also going to have to deal with the fact that there's going to be individuals that are going to make personal attacks against her. One of the personal attacks which we're going to see is the accusation that she slept her way to achieve the success that she achieved. And another thing she's going to have to Thank you for bringing that word. Another thing she's going to have to address is the situation regarding the border crisis. Okay. And why hundreds of thousands um, of migrants, asylum seekers, or whatever the fluff these people are called today, were allowed um, to enter into the United States. Good evening, Rondo Collisian, aka Killjoy the Holy Roland. Thank you very much for stopping by. Tonight's topic is who is Kamala Harris? Okay, so what I did was I gave a little history regarding her. Okay, first of all, and again, let me make this perfectly clear because people are talking about that she's going to be the first black female uh, to be president. Okay, first of all, her father's Jamaican, her mother's Indian. So if anything, she's Blasian. Okay. If she it gets elected, she's going to be the first female of color. Okay. Now, one of the problems is whenever you are the first of anything, okay, whether candidate being the first Catholic to be president, or whether Barack Obama being the first man of color, okay, there are a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of issues that other people has never had to deal with. And also there is the expectations that they're not going to do their jobs well. Okay. Now I don't okay. One thing I will say that Barack Obama did do, okay, was he did created the Affordable Care Act, which made it possible for millions of Americans who did not have medical coverage before to have it. It also made it possible that people with pre-existing conditions did get medical coverage. Okay. And under his watch, okay, I don't know if they're cousin, maybe, okay. And also under his watch, they did catch her Osama bin Laden. Okay. So, do I think Obama was a great president? Not really. Was he a bad president? Well, not exactly, but then, I mean, well, I will say this much. Um, at least Barack Obama was never involved in any personal scandal. And at least from what I gathered, Barack Obama was never unfaithful to Michelle Obama. So, but that's neither here. That's neither here nor there. So, uh, Kamala Harris is going to have to deal with a lot of personal attacks, um, and also one thing. One thing. Okay, let's see. Oh, also one thing that we're going to see is we're going to see millions of women vote for Kamala Harris simply because of the fact that she's female. Okay. What's going to happen is, unfortunately, there's going to be pressure that's going to be placed on other people to vote for Kamala Harris simply because she is a female. And heaven forbid if you disagree, you're going to be ridiculed because how could you not support a woman in the White House? I mean, you're going to be accused of being misogynistic. You're going to be accused of being, toxic or whatever. Okay. And unfortunately, we have already seen it already where you have had performers being taken to task simply because of the fact that they choose to support Donald Trump. Now, I've had issues with the man. I don't think he's done a great. I don't think he's done a great job. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's good. That's gonna be a huge topic. Okay, that's gonna be a huge issue. Okay, regarding reproductive rights. Okay, now one thing I did notice regarding Trump, for whatever reason, Donald Trump chose J.D. Vance to be his running mate. We're talking about a person who is a freshman senator from Ohio. We're talking about a person who years ago called Donald Trump the American Hitler. We're talking about a person that actually, oh boy, I don't know why, that actually called single women without children cat ladies. Okay. Big mistake because among the issues that Trump had to deal with, that he's extremely unpopular with women. Um, Part of it has to do with part of it has to do with his demeanor, and also part of it regarding his view regarding reproductive rights, which is it should be something that should be handled by the states. Okay. Now this is the problem. This is the issue. When you are running to become president, whether it be Democrat or Republican, normally what you do is you pick someone as a running mate that could create appeal to people outside of your car group. JD Vance have not done anything to try to give um, women and other groups who are not part of the mega crowd a justification on why they should be elected. They should be electing them. And I'm sorry, but to be calling women cat people, cat ladies. I mean, okay. I mean, you can look, you can hold that belief, but you do have to try. At least try, and I say try to give it some sort of a justification why they should consider their platform. Look, I mean, look, when it comes to reproductive rights, I mean, look, there's gonna be people who are in favor and people who are against. Okay, we get it. Okay, because that's the type of issue. Okay, when it comes to reproductive rights, it's a hot issue because it involves a lot of emotions. Okay, and also it has something is something that affect women. Okay, because they're the ones that get pregnant. They're the ones that have to deal with all the issues with pregnancy and then morning sickness and all that and all the symptoms that come along with it. So, and just something to consider on Monday's stream, my topic will be Agenda 47. Now, the question is, what is Agenda 47? Agenda 47, that is the official Republican platform that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance is running. So, what I will do is I will have a discussion regarding Agenda 47, which is basic, which is basically another version of Project 2025. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the discussion, and then you will decide whether Agenda 2047 is something that should be implemented or not implemented. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to present the facts, and you decide how to interpret it. Okay. Now, I have been talking for almost an hour regarding Kamala Harris and some of the things that she's going to have to deal with. So, of course, should anyone wishes to hit the panel and share their view regarding Kamala Harris, they're more than welcome to do so. Okay. Do you like her? Do you hate her? Do you think she's garbage? I mean, do you think she's incompetent? I mean, whatever. This is your opportunity to opine. The only thing I ask is please, watch the language when discussing her. Okay. 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 Now, if you're talking about when it comes to reproductive rights, um, that's not going to change in California, in New York, because they are considered what's called blue states, the states that are controlled by the Democrats. Georgia, I'm not sure. Okay, so that might be a different situation altogether. Okay, this is my suggestion. This is the suggestion and I gave earlier this week. You study the platforms regarding Trump and most likely Kamala Harris. You study and you take a look at their platforms and what they want to do, and then base your decision on your understanding as far as which one of the two you wish to vote for, or not vote at all. It's totally up to you. Okay, I don't know what you mean by a dust off save, so if you can just, uh, yeah, yes, it's a swings. I mean, actually, several of the states are swing states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, um, New Mexico, I think. This is what I think. It's going to be a very close election, okay? And they're not going to announce the winner to maybe the next day. That's that is my prediction. Okay, that is my prediction. Um, who I think is going to win? That's a good question because we don't know. Anything can happen. I will say this much: that Kamala Harris do have a better chance of defeating Trump. Okay, whatever you might feel about her, there is a lot more enthusiasm regarding her campaign as compared to Joe Biden. Okay, but I think Joe Biden made the correct decision and stepped down because I think realistically, had he stayed, he would have lost without a doubt. But we shall see. Next month is the Democratic National Convention, and we shall see what happens. But I think what's going to happen is Kamala Harris will be the Democratic stand back. But this is the thing. This is the thing that troubles me. That people are being attacked simply because of the virtue of who they wish to endorse, who do they support, whether it be Harris or Trump. But in all fairness, okay, in all fairness, um, Joe Biden did a poor job regarding the presidential debate, and his cognitive skills have been declining for some time. The fact that he keep forgetting, people's names, the fact that it looked like he was, I hate to say it, but it looked like he was suffering from dementia. I mean, but like I said before, and I've said it again, both Donald Trump and Joe Biden, their cognitive skills has declined. Okay, and even the most ardent supporters have to admit that the Donald Trump of 2015 is totally different from the Donald Trump of today. That Joe Biden in 2016, no, correction, 2020, is not the same Joe Biden in 2024. Okay. And what I find bizarre is people getting upset because Joe Biden decides to step down. And again, I think he made the correct decision. Okay. So what's going to happen is he's going to, and then there's an outcry that he should resign because yeah, this is true. I mean, look, let me tell you something. Never in the U.S. history where anyone had abandoned their campaign for re-election this late in the campaign season. Okay. Lyndon Johnson was running for president in 1968. And he abandoned his re-election bid in March. Joe Biden made his announcement not to continue his campaign this past Sunday. So we're talking about less than 4 months before the election that Joe Biden threw in the towel, so to speak. But the bottom line, I think he made the right choice. Now, of course, when the Democrats have their convention, I'm going to give you my point of view, and then you can take it for what you wish. Okay. And of course, there's what's going to happen. There's going to have people are going to make speeches and things of that nature. Well, you know what? The bottom line is whether he made a decision or someone made the decision for him. The fact of the matter is, he ended his campaign, and I think it was the correct decision. Whether he did it or whether someone did it for him, it's the correct decision. Well, in any case, we shall see. We shall see. I mean, the election is about 3.5 months away. Anything can happen between now and then. Donald Trump can do something I can't say Donald Trump will say something stupid because he says something stupid all the time. But we shall see. We shall see. In any case, like I said before, I will be discussing um, Agenda 47, which is the Republican platform. So I'm going to discuss what it is, and then you will decide how to interpret it. Okay. But in any case, I'm going to start to wrap this up. I basically said what I needed to say regarding Kamala Harris. Um, she has a difficult role. Okay. She's going to have to make a case on why she should be given the opportunity to be president. I will say this much: she's definitely more energetic than Joe Biden. Okay, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see the next presidential debate between those two. Well, in any case, I really appreciate all the people who made the comments in the chat. I also appreciate all those who watch from the clouds, and I also appreciate all those that are going to watch it on the playback. Okay, okay, and of course all of you are more than welcome to enter your comments after the stream is over. Just be mindful, keep it respectable, or else your comments are going to be deleted. I mean, it is that simple. But in any case, we shall see regarding this campaign. And I think we're going to have a few more surprises before it's over. But in any case, I'm going to close the same way I always close. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectual challenge, because if we fail to do so, um, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Hossein Akron. And just as a reminder, my next stream will be on Sunday at 10 o'clock. And again, I will be discussing the Republican platform. So have a good night, everybody. And enjoy your day and enjoy your weekend. Take care and peace.